Welcome to Southeast Iowa Live. We're being sort of quiet here in the corner. I am here with Tammy Shull of IowaWINS, and we have an incredible group of people here. I'm actually going to move the camera real quick so you can actually sort of see the space we're in. We are in the new Welcome Home Center.
Welcome Home Center.
It's a program of IowaWINS, and it's over here right next to downtown. Tammy Shull is one of the founders of IowaWINS. Are you the executive director right now, or what's your role? I didn't think
I'm
you
a board member.
A board member. That's sort of nice, right? Not to say you're the executive director, put that on somebody else a little bit. I've known Tammy for quite a while now, about 5 years since I moved back to Mount Pleasant, and Tammy is always the one that's incredibly active and involved, especially in working with immigrants, working with refugees, and making sure Mount Pleasant is known and provides a very welcoming and friendly atmosphere for any newcomers to our community. Would that sound accurate?
That's exactly what we want to do. That's what IowaWINS is all about.
I love it. I remember my first week back to Mount Pleasant back in 2018. I just moved back to work for Iowa Wesleyan, and there was an ice raid downtown. And that's the first time I had heard about IowaWINS, because you guys were there for the families that were impacted by that. We met at First Presbyterian Church. Incredible resources you guys provided for families and so on. And I can't tell you how much of a relief that was to see families being taken care of and having support in one of the hardest times, I'm sure, in their lives.
Very terrifying time for these families.
Yeah. And since that point, you've done a lot of work with obviously immigrant families, with refugee families, and so on. So I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about the history of IowaWINS, but then how it sort of culminated with this incredible new Welcome Center.
Okay, great. So IowaWINS was actually founded in the fall of 2015, and it was founded because we wanted to bring Syrian refugees to Mount Pleasant. And so that was really, there was a lot of interest. We had 40 people show up at our first meeting. There's a lot of interest in town and being able to reach out to these families that were in such distress. And so we tried to educate ourselves. So we met with Catholic Services, we met with the Lutherans, we met with all these agencies that resettle people.
Right.
And what we found was that they were no longer resettling people in small towns like Mount Pleasant, even though we had resettled lots of Southeast Asians.
We have a great history of resettlement in Southeast Iowa as a whole, even the state of Iowa, right?
Right. And
It's
so,
been a huge boom for our communities, for our culture, all those things.
yeah, you can see it in our towns today. All the families that have come here and grown here and just thrived. So anyway, so we were disappointed by that, but we said, okay, we still want Mount Pleasant to be a welcoming place for people who come here from anywhere in the world and choose to live, work, and raise their families here. We want it to be welcoming. So we did a lot of educational events. We did movies at the local theater. We did international potlucks. We just tried to share the world's view about, what it's like to come to a small town and have people from all over the world.
I can imagine. And the shock of culture, for one, coming to a small town, moving your whole family, all that kind of stuff, that would be in itself a shock, I would think, for a lot of people. And having a group there to welcome folks would be huge.
Yeah.
It'd be huge. Okay.
So anyway, but we kind of worried that we were just preaching to the choir. Were we
Sure.
really making a difference? But as you said, when that ice raid happened, we had developed all these relationships within our community and across the state.
Right.
So that when it happened, we knew who to call and how we could bring together resources. So the night of the ice raid, we had the attorneys from the University of Iowa, we had immigration attorneys from across the state, we had Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice, which at that time was operating in a different name, but
Right.
that same organization. We had the bond people who came down and knew how to do the bond process. We had counselors,
Right.
we had interpreters.
I think it's really important to note for our listeners too at this point, just we don't really do political issues with this podcast. What I loved about what you did at that time is you figured out how can we support as human beings, in your case be at the time a mission of the First Presbyterian Church. How do you support your outreach and your faith in that context too? and you did everything by the law. Everything was you have immigrants with different documentation statuses. They were going through a court proceeding in many cases, and your work to educate our community about that, let alone educate the families whose husbands and family members had been detained, was incredible. And you're basically helping them figure out the law so they could reunite their families, as well as take care of themselves during that time, because we're talking kids that were impacted by this, and their main breadwinner is suddenly not there. And we're talking wives and family members who suddenly didn't have the other part of their family there, right?
Yeah, and that all happened the night of the raid. We brought all of those people together, and people were in tears, and it was so difficult. But we were able to have the resources. We were able to determine what the next steps need to be. So.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So before we get into the center, what else have you been up to since the ICE raid?
All right, so we continue to work with the families during the time period it took until the men were returned, and we were able to get work permits, and we were able to come back together. And then the pandemic hit.
Oh, geez.
And so then we continued to work with the families on pandemic relief measures and so forth. And last year, when things kind of seemed to have calmed down, we said, okay, well, what's going on now? We're out of the crisis mode. What is needed in the immigrant community? And we contracted with someone to come down, a woman who had done work in the community before. She's Hispanic, and she met with all of the immigrant families in the area to collect information about what it was that they needed.
That's cool. That's very cool.
And what they came back with was that they wanted a center that was trusted, that they felt like they could come when they had issues and problems and be able to receive services in Spanish and English, and really be able to really learn what they could do to improve the lives for themselves and their kids and their families. So
that is awesome. Well, I want to pay the bills real quick, so we're going to cut to commercial real quick, and right after that we'll be right back, and we're going to hear about this amazing space that we're sitting in right now and the services that it is going to be providing over the next forever, hopefully, for a long time.
We hope.
Awesome. We'll be right back.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
At 5 Star Community Credit Union, we want to help you lead a better life. We offer competitive rates and convenient appointment times for all kinds of loans: auto, recreational vehicles, home equity line of credit, holiday, and personal loans. We make it easy to build your credit and enjoy the good things in life.
We invite you to join 5 Star Community Credit Union. We are community-minded and member-focused. Come visit our locations in West Burlington and Mount Pleasant, or online at 5starcu.org. Federally insured through the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Step back in time and create unforgettable memories of the 2024 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion. Gather the family and immerse yourselves in the nostalgic charm of steam engines, antique cars and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and the horses. Whether it's the savory delights from the North Village, to the log cabin, or the unforgettable concerts, this is where memories are crafted. Plan now to bask in the history of the past from August 29th to September 2nd in Mount Pleasant. Visit oldthreshers.com for details. Don't miss this chance to make timeless memories.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
And welcome back to Southeast Iowa Live. This is Community Profile for Mount Pleasant, and we are here with Tammy Shull at the new opening today, right? Mm-hmm. The new Welcome Center here in Mount Pleasant, focusing on welcoming people to our community, the resources they need, the understanding how things like schools and all that kind of stuff, just provide a safe, wonderful, trusted space for people to be able to move into our community and fit in, right? So, like, tell me a little bit about everything you will be doing under this space.
Well, so this, first of all, I think this is an opportunity for all of the residents of our community to be able to come when they have issues and concerns and have a place to come and get access to other people. We have so many community resources out there, but if you don't know about them, then you're not really able to take advantage of them.
We moved back from Dallas, and I grew up here, but I was 20 years away, and we moved back. Even understanding how do you register your kids for school was because most people's word of mouth in small towns, especially, you just sort of know you're on a Facebook group or something like that. So you're saying it's available. It's space is available for anyone that wants resources on how the town works, the community works, and how you can get resources.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly,
that's amazing.
right.
Okay.
And we really see ourselves as navigators.
Okay.
So because we have met many other people in the community through our work with IowaWINS, that when we talk with someone and we understand what their concerns are, we're able to say, oh, I know this person and this agency, and I'm going to bring them over so that you guys can talk and get this problem solved.
That is brilliant.
So we really want to be able to provide that kind of help to people who maybe struggle with filling out forms or maybe have a language barrier. We want to provide that.
So walk that through with me. What's that look like? I'm new to the community, or I'm with a family that's new to the community. We hear about this place. We get referred to we come to that door. What happens? Give me the sort of step by step so people are comfortable with the process.
Yeah. So we actually had our very first customer came.
Oh, seriously?
Today.
Why you're doing your open house?
Yes,
okay, that's
seriously.
brilliant. I love it.
And it was someone who has lived in the community a long time, but his sister has decided to move to this community.
Nice.
And he's looking to provide help for her in getting insurance for her and her family.
Brilliant.
And so we had our very first customer, and so I collected some information from him and sent him off with a task to get more information from his sister, and we're going to meet next week and see if we can get this problem taken care of.
That's brilliant. Now, do you have a staff here? Are they volunteers? Who's all here when the people walk in?
All right, so we hired Oscar Argueta. He is our project director.
Amazing human being.
Yeah, an amazing human being. And it is a part-time position, but he's volunteering a lot.
Sure.
But he has been in our community, well, he's been gone from our community for about 8 years, but previously he lived here for 17 years and has a really good knowledge.
He's a Panther. We'll give it to him. He's a Panther. You live here for that long, you're a Panther.
Yeah, his kids pretty much all grew up here.
Yep. Love it.
And so they are back for a time period, and we're hoping it'll be a long time period, but at least for the next 5 months.
Nice.
And so he is the director of the center, and then we have a lot of people who are volunteering, including bilingual people.
Great.
So that we're planning on having people staffed at the center Monday through Friday from 9 to noon and from 2 to 5.
Monday through Friday, 9 to noon and 2 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a website or a phone number or things like that for people to be able to reach out?
We created a Facebook group.
How Mount Pleasant of you. I love it. Yep.
So you can look for the Welcome Home Center. We have the IowaWINS website, and we're going to have a page on it that's reflecting what's happening out there.
Right. That is fantastic. I am so excited to see what happens in this space. The amount of community you're able to build. I look at, a town like Mount Pleasant that we've struggled a little bit with Iowa West Lane closing, and we need resources to help build each other up. And this is one of those perfect examples of yet another cool thing that's opening up in sort of the ashes, if you will, of the university as we empower each other and we help our community grow. We do it with each other instead of trying to go out and recruit something new to come. You've really built it from the ground up with a community that all it takes is a little bit of access to resources, and suddenly we have all these incredible community members who are contributing to our community, helping us grow in that wonderful vibrancy of who we are as Mount Pleasant. So amazing. I am so excited to go talk to people and get to know people a little bit. And I'm going to, can you just pop in every once in a while and say hi? Is that something people do? and learn more about the
Come
center?
by. I mean, today has been a wonderful day. People have just come and gone and got to meet each other and talk to each other. We've had just a wonderful, wonderful birthday.
That is awesome. Well, Tammy, thank you for all you do for our community. I know you've been involved in a lot of projects over the years, and since I've met you in the last 5 or 6 years, we wouldn't be the town we are today if it wasn't for you and a host of volunteers that you work with regularly out of First Pres, out of IowaWINS, all the different things you guys are involved in. So this is like one of my favorite interviews ever because it's truly the purpose of these community profiles. It's how we keep our community healthy, and this you're doing it in real time right here in this space. So thank you and everyone that's put stuff into it to make this happen.
It's been a real team effort, and I want to just thank all the people who have donated furniture, who have donated time, who have just been, I mean, it's just amazing how quickly this came together.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely
It's just due to all the people willing to help.
Great. Well, thank you again, and stop by to check out the IowaWINS website if you want some more information. There's a page on there, and your hours again are Monday through Friday,
9 to noon and 2 to 5.
2 to 5. Perfect. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Awesome.